Well, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. My name is Louie. I hope you're having yourself a fantastic day. Today, we're going to talk about singles and store singles inventory and different philosophies on how to do that and what we currently do. I actually just picked up this collection from another store. This was their singles inventory, what they had in their store, and I want to evaluate it a little bit, criticize it a little bit, maybe learn from it a little bit, and also share with you my philosophy for singles in our store here in West Virginia at gamegrove.gg. If you're looking for our singles inventory, you can go there and see all the singles there. So yeah, this is a large collection. This whole stack was Pokemon, and I went through that yesterday. And now today I have to go through this. This is all it was alphabetically sorted with these like weird Pokemon sorting things. But I just went through and sorted and put them into non-foils and foils, so then I can scan them in to our inventory system, which brings me to my first point. There was no inventory maintenance made in this box. In other words, they just bought singles and they went into the box, and then if somebody wanted a single, if they wanted to know if the store had a single, they would probably, I assume, ask the store people, and they would look in here. And so if you wanted a Liliana the Veil, they would go to the L's and be like, oh yeah, we have a Liliana the Veil. The problem with that is you just don't have all the cards that people want anyway. And so, like, what do you need 7 Liliana the Veils for? Like, at some point, if this isn't anywhere else, it's hard to know. You're only selling cards when people want the specific card. They can't filter through it and look for the cards they want. So what we do in our system is we actually scan every card, and we have a website that you can go to. As if you're local, you can actually pick up cards and order them, and they're ready for you when you come into the store. And then we have a kiosk in the store. It's an iPad, and you can actually search our whole singles inventory that we have in the back. We have like 4,000 cards in our inventory. You can search it and you can add it to your cart, and this all works via TCG Player. So all of our cards are also automatically pricing to TCG Player pricing, and they are also being sold online. And our inventory, we know, is up to date on the kiosk because we are actively, shipping cards in the back as well. I think if you're going to take in cards as a store, you almost have to have a way to move cards online, because I mean, Liliana is really the best example here. No store needs 7 copies of Liliana in their store inventory at one given time. It's just like, it's dead money. I remember being in a store before I was a store owner. I remember being in a store that had a Sliver Queen in the shelf for literally 3 years. For 3 years, they had a Sliver Queen in the shelf, and I actually ended up buying it from the guy. I bought it from him, and I kind of started off the conversation like this, like, hey, what's your goal with the Sliver Queen? Obviously nobody in the store wants it. Why don't you sell it online and get the cash flow in order to order more product that people want? And that's what this whole thing represents to me, is cash flow. This is all singles that this store could have had in their system, in their inventory online. They could have been selling things to recoup money. When a person trades in their card at 60%, they could have been selling that card online. For us, we give our local customers an opportunity to pick up the cards first, but then the cards kind of go online to the masses. What I do is I put out a Discord message like, hey, we bought a large collection. Go take a look before other people buy it online, and they have an opportunity to pick up the cards. But our ecosystem of cards is constantly flowing. It is constantly moving. We're probably actively sitting on this many cards, but there are always cards coming in. There's always cards going out, and so it creates like this ecosystem where we're never stuck with 7 cards that people don't want. And the value of this card when they bought it could have been $20-30 on release, and like now it's a $7, $8, $9, $10 card, and at the end of the day, they're losing money on their trade-in rather than when they could have been negotiating that cash flow. So the other thing I want to talk about is just the look of this. And I'm a big proponent of unsleeving cards when cards come in as a trade. Like I would never, like we will re-sleeve every single one of these cards, whether it's, we kind of list cards over 50 cents. We put a penny sleeve on every card, 50 cents or higher. Anything that's in our inventory is sleeved in a penny sleeve, because I mean, there's just some cards here that don't even have sleeves. There was a Pokemon card. It was a $600 near mint Pokemon Charizard card. It was just thrown in here with no sleeve, nothing. And at the end of the day, it's like, why would somebody buy that from me? Even if they saw it in this, why would they buy it at the end of the day at retail price if it's not being treated like this? I mean, this is probably not worth much up here in the abyss, but Phyrexian Altar is, you know, like put a sleeve on it. Do treat the cards the way that you're going to want them to be treated if you were receiving them. And one of the things I really enjoy doing is, I guess I don't enjoy it, but I think it is helpful to get the cards out of their original sleeves, because you know, like it's hard to explain, but a clean sleeve makes cards look way nicer and way more, I guess professional would be the word I would use. And so when you're going into a store, or when you're even, I guess in this case they were not shipping out cards, so it's a little bit better, I guess. But even if I'm thumbing through here, I don't want to know that the sleeve has been somebody else's, you know, played 500 times and it was in their commander deck. I just don't want that if I'm buying a card. I want to know that it's a fresh, you know, penny sleeve. I just think that matters a lot. I think for the average consumer, they're more likely to pick up a card if it's in a fresh sleeve, rather than just kind of thrown in and not cared about the way that it was purchased. So that's another big thing. The last thing I will say is, as technology has shifted, it has become way easier to digitize and have a catalog of the singles inventory for the store. Like our investment in having a digital catalog for our singles is not nearly as much as it would have been 3 years ago. And it's almost, I think, an expectation. You know, we do have bulk bins, right, that people can look through, that's not inventory, that's not sorted, that's not whatever, and that's great, and people like thumbing through the cards or whatever. But to be able to go to the kiosk, to be able to go to the website and place an order and see all the cards and filter and sort is something that works for both the consumer and the seller, for the store, right? It is more efficient for the store. It is, you know, less people can steal cards for the store, but it is also a win for the consumer because they can quickly and easier and more easily see the cards that they want to be purchasing. So if your store is doing something like this, I think you can get a lot better, and the time that you would put into fixing this will net you a lot more cash flow, which will be well worth the energy that you would put into fixing the problem. And I know a lot of stores, they get overwhelmed because they have, you know, the store was in business for a long time. I'm sure at some point they had 2 or 3 times the catalog of this, and I'm sure other stores have 5 or 6 boxes of cards or 100 binders that they have to sort through. You put in the time, you're going to get a lot of reward on the back end of that. You'll be able to buy more product, you'll be able to be more efficient, and you'll be able to buy more singles, which is really the game here, to pick up more and more singles day in and day out. Because if you have singles going out, then you can have more singles coming in. You can pay a little bit higher price coming in, which opens up the door to a lot of other opportunities. So another large singles collection going up. I might get through this. I'm not gonna get through today, but going up for locals and on the store at gamegrove.gg. Let me know what your thoughts are in your stores and kind of where you shop or where you play games. How do they handle singles? You know, when they buy singles, where do they end up going? Are they online? Are they just in a box? Are they in a binder? Love to hear your thoughts. Have yourselves a great day. Be kind to the people around you. We'll see you again next video.